Hey, we've safely arrived for another day. It is Thursday, the 5th day of December 2019. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. We're live here from Studio 7 here in downtown Wenatchee. Thanks for starting your day with us here on the NCW Life Channel. Lots going on today. First of all, it's considerably warmer than it has been. Some warm air has paid us a visit, and we're all for that. It's still kind of cloudy and overcast, but it's not that thick, heavy fog that we've had for the last couple of days. In fact, we're already at 33 degrees, which is just a couple of degrees shy of what we topped off at on Wednesday. So we're in for a pretty nice stretch of weather. Again, warm temperatures, no sunshine until we get to the weekend. Forecast details are coming up. My guests in the back half of the hour, a couple of members of the North Central Educational Foundation. Eldene and Rufus Woods paid me a visit a couple of days ago. We taped that conversation. They just gave about 140 teachers in the North Central Washington area grants. They handed out grants for them to improve their classrooms. It's a fascinating story. My conversation with Eldene and Rufus coming up in the back half of the hour. It's Thursday. Kennel cameos will be coming your way. Guppy the dog needs a home. We also have your news headlines, your latest sports, including Pete Carroll's reaction to the sudden retirement, resignation, stepping aside, whatever you want to call it, of Chris Peterson from the University of Washington. We'll talk about that with Coach Pete. Wenatchee Wild knocking off the Penticton Vees last night. We got highlights coming your way, too, with sports. Plus, of course, we have opinion from Mike Magnotti. We got some celebrity birthdays. We got Today in History, and we got some obscure holidays. And we have, 2 minutes after the hour, some cameras to show you. Some incredible views around this beautiful area, God's country, from the Localtel Sky-Fi high-speed wireless network. There we go. That is our cross camera, which has been fairly unusable the last couple of days. That low layer of clouds and fog pretty much obscured any chance we had of using that camera. But as you can see, we even got some blue skies up there. So Megan has that camera zoomed back and tilted up. They're PTZ cameras, which is an acronym for pan, tilt, and zoom. We can do all kinds of cool things with these cameras, and that particular camera, the cross camera, is a 4K camera. That's why you get really sharp definition and nice colors and everything. Although the sun's not up yet, and it won't be for another half an hour. Sunrise this morning, 7:32. Sunset tonight, 11 minutes after 4. That gives us 8 hours and 39 minutes of daylight on this 5th day of December. Camera number 2, I don't know. Of course, at this point, Megan gets to decide. She says, let's pay a really... Okay, it's pointing to the east. Let me think here. The sun's coming up. I'm seeing a little stream. I give up, Megan. Oh, that's the Tumwater well, of course. That's the Tumwater camera, which is not quite at the entrance to the Tumwater Canyon between Leavenworth and Coles Corner and Winton and downtown Winton, but it's pretty close. So that's Leavenworth that you see down there. Of course, the first of the 3 weekends of the holiday lighting takes place this weekend. Don't forget, Friday at 1 o'clock, if you're planning to go to Leavenworth, Friday at 1 o'clock, they're going to turn off the traffic lights, and they're going to be having the traffic controlled manually by a flagging company. Hopefully, that'll make traffic flow smoother in the Leavenworth area during the Christmas lighting festivities, because it just jam-packs that town. Camera number 3. We say hello and good morning to... Okay, Bear Mountain, Upper Butte. Oh, that's Waterville. Gee, I'm an idiot. I thought that was Lake Chelan. Nope, that's not Lake Chelan. That's the Columbia River. So you can see Entiat down there and the Entiat Valley playing into view. The snow level's down there a little bit, although the snow level if you're driving over the mountain passes today, by the way, no problems at all. Snow level's above 5,000 feet. In fact, we're not expecting any snow either here on the valley floor. Beautiful view from our Waterville camera, tilted off to the southwest, so we can take a beautiful view of the Columbia River. Good stuff there, Megan. Camera 4. I'm excited. Where are we going? We're going to take a look at, I'm just going to toss out Natapoc Ridge. That's the Valley High camera. She moved it. Of course, again, the Valley High camera is one of our newer cameras, so I got to get used to that view. And that is in black and white, and here's how these cameras work. They automatically default to infrared or black and white when there's simply not enough light to show an image. And then, of course, when it gets enough light, it automatically switches to color. Technology is a beautiful thing. There's a couple of cars heading on Blewett Pass, so that's our views from around North Central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley. Again, all of these courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi high-speed wireless setup. 10 minutes after the hour from Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, they give your home a hug. The National Weather Service says that's what we're looking at. Maybe 40. Yeah, that would be nice. We hit 35 yesterday. For most of this week, we haven't even been close to the forecast high because the sun just hasn't been able to penetrate the low clouds and the fog. But as you can see from the cameras, we do have some clear skies out there. So as far as precipitation over the weekend, light snow in the mountains, rain in the valleys. As you can see, Friday night is when this first system will come through. We got about a 40% chance of rain on Friday night, not snow. Snow level is going to be too high for that, with an overnight level of about 33 on Friday night. Saturday, again, a chance of rain. Most of it in the morning, little patchy fog at times as well. We'll top off at 41 on Saturday. And then Sunday, here comes a ridge of high pressure is going to build up over the region. And so obviously with the high pressure and the sunshine, the chance of precipitation goes down to nothing on Sunday and Monday. So if you miss a little old sunshine, pack a little patience, and come Sunday and Monday, we'll be at it again. So once again, to recap, mostly cloudy tonight, 40 for the overnight, or for the afternoon high, I should say, 32 for the overnight low tonight, patchy fog and clouds. We'll be going to be hanging around today, tonight, and Friday. Maybe a little bit cooler on Friday, high of about 38. Friday night into Saturday, we start talking about a little bit of rain. On Sunday, lots of sunshine. Monday, lots of sunshine. By the time we get to Tuesday night and Wednesday, snow level is going to get down to about 900 feet, but there's not a lot of precipitation in the forecast. People want a white Christmas. It's just too far out to predict that. So there you go. Pretty typical December weather. Let's take you up to the major mountain passes. Things are pretty quiet. Quite frankly, not a lot to worry about. As I mentioned before, the snow level is near 5,000 feet. The only problem you're going to have, as you can tell, is visibility. You got fog and light rain on I-90. That's a live shot of the summit there. No advisories, no restrictions. On Snoqualmie Pass, you're dealing with bare and wet conditions. Stevens is a piece of cake. No advisories, no restrictions. Again, rather foggy and rather cloudy. So visibility is more of an issue than anything else, but the roadway's fine. It's bare and wet. So US 2 Stevens, you're good to go there. And Blewett Pass, no issues at all. Again, a little on the foggy side in spots as you go up and down Blewett Pass. The roadway, however, is bare and wet. And the forecast for the mountain passes through Friday afternoon is really nothing. A little bit of rain. Snow level is going to be way up there. Little bit of light snow expected maybe Friday night. Couple of inches of snow in the mountain passes on Saturday and into Saturday night. And then they're going to have sunshine just like we have by the time Sunday, Monday rolls around. So no significant weather event either for the Wenatchee Valley or the mountain passes. Things, all in all, from Mother Nature's perspective anyway, kind of quiet. 8 minutes after the hour. Going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have your Thursday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, and we're live this morning from Studio 8 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
Winter is here, and CVCH wants to give your child a free sled to help them stay active. This January, plan to join us for a free event for the whole family. Free sleds, hot chocolate, and fun. For complete details, visit the CVCH Facebook page or check us out at cvchchillout.com.
Hi, I'm Eric Granstrom with the NCW Life Channel.
And I'm Brent Rhodes with Country 104.7 KKRV.
The Les Schwab Community Toy Drive is back.
Look for a drop box at sponsor locations and donate a new toy that goes directly to a deserving child in the Wenatchee Valley this Christmas.
We're especially in need of toys and gifts for teenagers.
There are several hundred teens in our valley that could use your help.
Please give the gift of a new toy at Christmas.
It's the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive. Thank you.
Welcome back. 30 degrees under partly cloudy skies outside of our studios. Cloudy and foggy today, tonight, on Friday, and then Friday night into Saturday morning. Maybe a little bit of light rain with some snow in the upper elevations, and then lots of sunshine on Sunday. Here's just making headlines on this Thursday morning. East Wenatchee has a new mayor for the first time in 21 years after Jerry Lee Crawford sworn in at Tuesday's City Council meeting. Crawford, of course, defeated Council member Tim Dieterine in the November election. Also sworn in Christine Johnson as the newest member of the council. In addition, current council members who were elected to new terms back in November were also sworn in. There's John Stirk taking the oath, also Harry Rabb taking the oath, and Shane Magdoff. The new terms, by the way, officially begin on January 1st. The council also took the opportunity to recognize Jeannie Bryant for 30 years of service, Police Chief Randy Harrison for his 28 years of service. They also thanked Mayor Steve Lacey, who led the city of East Wenatchee for over 21 years. All happened on Tuesday. Well, after about 2 weeks of not accepting new cats and not adopting any cats that they already had in-house, the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society back in the cat business. Cats were placed under quarantine back on November 20th after the virus panleukopenia was detected in a litter of stray cats. Renee Parkins of the Humane Society says the scare has now passed.
So as a precautionary response, about 2 weeks ago, we had a litter of kittens that came in. One of them tested positive for the panleukopenia virus, which is basically feline parvo. So as a precautionary response to that, we did put our cats in the adoptable hall and our stray halls on quarantine, and we did close the shelter to incoming cats just to make sure that we had caught it and it wasn't going to spread. Successfully, our 2-week hold is up and we are open and back for adoption. And as you can see, we have many healthy, adorable cats that are waiting for homes that have been here for that 2-week period, and they are ready to have adopters come in and say hello and go home.
That's good news. And by the way, of course, we'll have kennel cameos later on this program. Plans are beginning to take shape for the new Chelan County PUD Service Center out there in Old Station. From now through December, the PUD is taking suggestions about how parts of that new building should look. In fact, they even provided us a video about how you can help the PUD.
Exciting things are happening at your Chelan PUD. We've been connecting customers in a 3,000 square mile valley for more than 80 years. We all share a love for mountains, farms, and rivers in this place we call home. And now we're going to consolidate all of our Wenatchee operations in one location in Old Station to provide even better, more efficient services to you, our customers. Come take a virtual ride with us through the new home of your PUD. And we want you to be part of helping create the public spaces at our service center. What should be on the public plaza? What would you like to see in the public lobbies? What would make you feel at home in this new space? Give us your ideas. Maybe it's a conservation demonstration corner, or lots of historic pictures from the early days of the PUD. Tell us what you think. Visit chelanpud.org/service center and give us your ideas.
In other news this morning, members of a major Christian rock band say they've been stalked and threatened by a Wenatchee woman, and they've gone to court to get her to stop. Our very own Jefferson Robbins has more on this rather odd story.
Skillet is a 4-member Christian rock group based in Memphis with a huge fan base and 24 years of touring under their belt. They also say they've been threatened by a Wenatchee woman, and on Tuesday their lawyer won a temporary restraining order to keep her away from the individual band members and their upcoming concerts. Skillet's attorney didn't return messages seeking comment, but the documents he's filed in Chelan County District Court say over the last 2 years, the 28-year-old woman has expressed desires to commit a mass shooting at a Skillet concert. She allegedly followed the band to concerts and public appearances around the country, and last March delivered a disturbing note in person to a member of the band's crew. A police report says that same month, she sneaked into a Skillet concert in Saginaw, Michigan, after her ticket was revoked over security concerns. NCW Life has chosen not to name the woman, who has said she lives with mental illness and has not been charged criminally. The temporary restraining order forbids her from approaching any venue where Skillet is performing, recording, rehearsing, or appearing until a court hearing next week. The band wants to extend that prohibition for more than a year. Jefferson Robbins, NCW Life.
Thank you for that report, Jefferson. More bad news than good news from the latest unemployment statistics that's out for the Wenatchee Valley. According to the State Employment Security Department, local monthly unemployment rates have crept a little bit upwards during the past 11 months, also year over year. Total non-farm employment in the Wenatchee MSA has either stagnated or declined in each of the past 4 months. That's July through October of this year. In October 2019, the Wenatchee MSA non-farm market tallied 47,000 jobs. It's a 200 job or a 0.4% downturn from the 47,200 jobs provided in October of last year. The good news is the civilian labor force has expended in 27 of the last 28 months, indicating that more residents are entering the Wenatchee Valley labor force. Well, a new phone scam is hitting the Wenatchee Valley. This time, the caller claims to be Chelan County Sheriff Rick Johnson. The Wenatchee Police Department says the calls come from a local cell number, with the scammers saying the potential victim failed to appear in court. They go on to say that a warrant has been issued for the arrest of the victim's nephew, and Walmart gift cards have to be sent in order to clear the warrant. Now, there's a lot of things wrong, of course, with that information. Government agencies don't accept gift cards, and in addition, Brian Burnett is the sheriff of Chelan County, not Rick Johnson. Don't be fooled. Speaking of Chelan County Fire District number 1 Chief Brian Brett says the agency is moving forward with plans to add a second firefighting helicopter to its fleet. In fact, Brett talked about the plans in a recent conversation with our very own special news correspondent, Steve Hare.
We have a great partnership with the DNR, and we've historically operated the helicopter out of the Sunny Slope Fire Station. However, we have a hangar and facilities in Malaga. It's a little bit easier spot to take off and land from, more of a conducive facility to be the primary helicopter operating spot. So we relocated that helicopter program out there, which still frees up the Sunny Slope site. And we had an airframe fuselage and a ton of inventory that we loaded up and hauled over to Northwest Helicopters in Tumwater, because we aspire to build the second helicopter. We potentially have half of the cost to build this helicopter in inventory, and hopefully we can get it spooled up by wildland season and potentially enter into another contract with the DNR to supplement their fleet or be on a call when needed program.
What would that mean to your district to have 2 helicopters?
Well, it would be fantastic. We're a little bit selfish in the interests here. It's a great partnership with the DNR, which makes this possible for us, but it selfishly gives us air assets right here in our backyard. When they get dispatched, those guys are out in the helicopter getting ready to take off within 5 minutes. I believe they're off the ground in less than 10. And with the fuels and topography we have around our fire district, getting that air support immediately on these fires is critical need for us.
That makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yes. And if we had another one out here, whenever they deployed one, we would still have one right here in our backyard versus waiting for Ellensburg, Yakima, Omak, or the next closest one.
Thank you for that report, Steve. And that's what's making headlines on this Thursday morning. Once again, the news crew will be gathering and disseminating information and spitting out a newscast for you, so you can stay in the loop and find out what's going on around the Wenatchee Valley, North Central Washington. And with a preview of tonight's news, here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, we sat down with the Chelan and Douglas County Sheriffs for a question and answer session. We'll have our weekly Kennel Cameos feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. I'll have your complete North Central Washington weather forecast, and Eric Granstrom will be in with all the day's sports. That and much more coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope you'll join us then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. We appreciate it. You want to get a hold of us? We've tried to make it as easy as possible. All the tools are available, and you can just look right at the bottom of your screen. You can pick up the telephone and give us a call if you want to say hi during office hours. You can email us news@ncwlife.com, news@ncwlife.com. Our website has a Contact Us icon. If you click on that, a form pops up. You fill out the form. You can either submit news tips or just say hi. We get them here. Again, our website, ncwlife.com, or go to our Facebook page and send us a message that way. We'd love to hear from you. Going to take a break. Nice victory for the Wenatchee Wild last night. Highlights is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
You want to help others. You need a solid career. You can have both with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, stop by our campus at 595 Grant Road across from Safeway or visit chartercollege.edu.
Celebrate the holidays with your friends and neighbors. Stop by and exchange a warm smile and a holiday greeting with these local businesses.
Buy Kaler Glen's holiday special today. $45 green fees with a cart. Go to kalerglen.com, choose daily deals, and pick your offer. Walkabout Grill gift cards are perfect for teachers, friends, and stocking stuffers. They offer dining for large groups in both Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Stop by today.
Happy holidays from our family to yours.
Back out of the 21 minutes after the hour, let's do sports. The Wenatchee Wild, they could prove last night they could play with the best in the BCHL. In fact, they beat one of the best teams in the league. They beat Penticton 4-3 last night at the Town Toyota Center. They fell behind 1-0 in the first period, but they came out in a fury, I should say, in the second. They got goals from Brett Chorsky, Harrison Scott, Matt Dorsey. So boom, it's 3-1. Then it was shaved to 1 goal shortly into the third, but then Nicholas Komoveski came through with what later proved to be the game winner 98 seconds later with the call on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network. It's our good friend Art Checker.
Sealed off there by Herzog are the V's, but Tyler Ho comes in. He throws a shot on net, rebound, swatted home. Kalazic got the rebound. Tyler Ho ended up with it. Jack Bayless will receive the pass, carries into the zone. Somerville poked it off his blade, clearing attempt, hit a body, stays in, backhand score! Brett Chorsky with a backhander. After the clearing attempt, hit a body and stayed in play. And Chorsky pounced right on it below the hash marks in between the circles. All this inside the Penticton zone off to my left. Centering feed in front, shot, a pass, save, rebound, score! Harrison Scott. After the initial shot was taken by Dorsey, Peretz made the stop, and Harrison Scott followed. And the Wild, just that quickly, now lead it 2-1. Shoveled across for Hutchison. That shot blocked, and Bayless picks up the rebound. Bayless takes off on the right side. Backhanded along, in, shot, score! Matt Dorsey, at full speed, made an absolutely gorgeous deke. Put it in around behind Peretz. And the Wild now lead it 3-1. Sometimes that's the way it works. Here's David Celia into the zone, centering feed and a score. David Celia threw it off the left side. Darwin Lacaduke was going right up the middle, and he pushes the one-timer low on the blocker's side. He tried to catch it with his skate blade, but he'll eventually recover. Walks out in front, shot save made. Chmielewski scores! Chorsky did the work coming out of the left corner. And Nico Chmielewski pounced on the rebound. V's with it around the perimeter. 45 seconds left in the power play. Shot and a loose puck and a score. Oh, it bounced off of Lacaduke, actually. He never even took a shot. It hit a leg, bounced off of, I believe, off Lacaduke. Maybe Niedermeyer is leading the drive-by, but that was just a weird hop. 6-on-4. And Chorsky wins the draw, and the puck cleared out through center. Deep down inside the Penticton zone, 6 seconds left. They'll wing it around behind their net over to Kalazic, but there's not enough time. Shot by Bavaro, but it doesn't matter. Time expires, and the Wild hold on. And they'll claim the victory here tonight by a final score of 4-3.
Yeah, so Wenatchee hits the road. They got 3 games against Vernon, Coquitlam, and Trail. And they'll be home back at the Town Toyota Center next Friday for a teddy bear toss. Looking forward to that. Eastmont girls bowling team 2 for 2 this week. They had a good week. Nicely done. Wildcats topped Davis at Eastmont Lanes yesterday 4-0. They're 3-2 on the season. In Big 9 play, West Valley also topped Sealy yesterday 4-0 to earn their first victory of the season. Wenatchee is on the road today at Nob Hill Lanes. In Yakima, they'll take on West Valley at 3 o'clock. Coming up in girls basketball, Today, Wenatchee will be hosting the Pasco Bulldogs at 5:45. That's also the tip time for Natchez Valley at Cascade. Chelan is on the road at Cle Elum. They'll get going at 6, and Waterville Mansfield begins the season at home tonight at 6:30 against Pateras. That's girls basketball. Boys basketball, Chelan takes on Cle Elum at 7. Cascade will host Natchez Valley at 7:15. And the Shockers have a late start time, 8 o'clock against Pateras in Waterville. Everybody into the pool. The boys swim and dive season gets going today. They'll be at Moses Lake at Lions Pool, the Moses Lake Pentathlon. Eastmont, Wenatchee, Davis, Ike. They will all hop in the pool at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Moses Lake High School's the site of wrestling, too. They got a jamboree later on today at 5 o'clock. The Wenatchee boys will be there. Royal will be there, Othello, along with the host Moses Lake Chiefs for some early season grappling on the mats today. And, of course, one of the big stories this week is Chris Peterson surprising the college football world by announcing that he was stepping away as the head football coach of the Washington Huskies. Seahawks coach and former USC coach Pete Carroll says, hey, he can understand Peterson's decision.
The college thing is really, really demanding in terms of the constant recruiting pressure, and strain. It's really the strain of it, that it just doesn't go away. 'Cause as soon as you're on the next year always anyway, and so it's just an ongoing process, and that's one part of it. But the other part of it is just the demands of being on top is for a guy who's a great ball coach and staying out there, and it's a strain now, and I totally understand why he would make his choice, and anybody that does, this is a cauldron of competitiveness, and it's most challenging, and he's a dead serious, want to get it done in great fashion, huge, high standards, and expectations for himself and all that. And he was highly successful, kick butt, and he's going to do some other stuff and kick butt, whatever that is too.
Of course, Pete Carroll is busy getting his Seahawks ready to take on the LA Rams down in Los Angeles on Sunday night. He says it'll be another challenge against a team that's playing pretty good football.
We know we have another terrific opponent. It just seems like one after another after another. We just keep getting challenged by it, and the teams keep bringing special players and schemes and histories of winning and all that stuff that just makes this a great run and a great challenge. Going down to the Coliseum is always kind of fun and all that, but this starts really the fourth quarter for us, and we got to get going, and we got to play good football all the way down the stretch, and this is a very difficult challenge. They played so good last week against the Cardinals. They just looked almost infallible, and so we saw them at their best, which is always good for us in getting prepared, so we got to get ready to go.
It's quite well known that Coach Pete Carroll likes to create a fun atmosphere for his players. In fact, he calls it playing football, not working football.
Well, I do, and it's always been, you play football, and I like to go back to that thought, you don't work football, you don't drudgery through football, you play it, and these guys love to play this game. They've grown up as kids loving it, and I don't ever want to lose connection with that. So just having a good time doing it, figuring out how to lighten up the atmosphere while we work really hard and maintain standards, and I'm going to find a way. If we're not having fun, I feel like I'm screwing up, to tell you the truth. And so it should be a good time, and we should be practicing with great energy and juice and hauling butt around here and everything we're doing. But you can have a good time doing that too, and it's just been the way we do it.
Hopefully the Seahawks will have a good time. Sunday Night Football, Seahawks and the Rams in beautiful Los Angeles, California. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Thursday at 29 minutes after the hour. The obscure holiday of the day today. Today is the Day of the Ninja, International Ninja Day. Of course, the masked warriors from ancient Japan. Ninjas were professional spies in Japan, active between the 13th centuries and the 19th century. Infiltration, sabotage, espionage, the occasional assassination. But the ninjas weren't the top level. The top level was the samurais, of course, and then ninjas were below that. Of course, ninjas didn't necessarily dress in all black. That's a myth. Ninjas were spies, and spies are supposed to dress and kind of blend in with their surroundings. They didn't dress in all black and walk around with swords. That would have called attention to yourself, and you weren't supposed to do that if you were a ninja. Why is today Day of the Ninja? I don't know. I haven't got a clue. But it is Day of the Ninja Day for you ninja ninja, what's the word for people who like ninjas? People who like ninjas, there. It's your day today. Enjoy. Celebrate it with a ninja that you love. Bottom of the hour today in history. They actually found gold in California in January of 1848, but James K. Polk, the President of the United States, spilled the beans about a year later. It was December 5th, 1848, 171 years ago. In a message to the United States Congress, U.S. President James Polk said, there's a bunch of gold in California. Yeah, word's out. They try to keep it a secret for about a year. That's the kind of thing you can't really keep a secret. So here came the 49ers. San Francisco was a tiny little settlement before the gold rush began. And then it got even tinier because everybody in San Francisco abandoned their shops and their homes and their merchant ships, and they went off to find gold themselves. And it became pretty obvious as a bunch of merchants and new people arrived that maybe we should set up a better shop. And they did. The population of San Francisco was 1,000 in 1848. 2 years later, the population of San Francisco was 25,000. Yeah, that's rapid growth. The California gold rush began on the state back in 1848. Thanks, James K. Polk. Couldn't keep that one a secret any longer, I suppose. Happy birthday to the 21st Amendment to the United States Constitution. It was ratified in this state. So prohibition, gone. Yeah, we could go back to legally drink again. The 21st Amendment, of course, is unique among all the amendments to the Constitution because it's the only one to repeal a prior amendment to the Constitution. It's also the only amendment to have been ratified by state ratifying conventions. There are two ways you can ratify the Constitution as it goes off to the states for approval. One of them is the state ratifying conventions, and the other one is just simply through the state legislatures. This is the only one that they used a convention, ratifying conventions. And by the way, what was the state that put them over the top? The 36th state to make it a majority big enough to qualify for the Constitution? You wouldn't believe it. It was Utah. Of all the states, it was Utah who put us over the top. Happy 86th birthday to the 21st Amendment. And finally, you know, here in north central Washington, in the Wenatchee Valley specifically, we get those inversion layers, and it happens all the time in the winter. You know what it is. We got the cold air trapped on the valley floor, and then there's warm air above it, and things get trapped, and the pollutants get caught up in that stuff. We're used to it. It happens all the time, but it normally doesn't kill people. On December 5th, 1952, a cold fog descended upon old London town, and it stayed for a couple of weeks, and they had an inversion layer. The problem was London in 1952, most of the homes and almost all of the industries were heated by coal. It was very cold, and people just fired up their coal furnaces and kept firing the coal in. So you had smoke from the coal and smoke from the industrial chimneys, and you had car exhaust and sulfur dioxide, and it all went up and got caught there and went right back down, and 12,000 people died from the Great Smog, the Great London Smog in 1952. Can you imagine that? 12,000 people died of respiratory illness because the air was unfit to breathe in London for a couple of weeks, and it started on this date in 1952. At least we don't have to worry about that. Finally, at 33 minutes after the hour, let's do some birthdays. The first 7 presidents of the United States carved their name in legend, and then came our very first mediocre president, Martin Van Buren, who was born in the state in 1782. Look at those mutton chops. Bring those babies back. Yes, Martin Van Buren, the first of our forgettable presidents, was born in the state in 1782. He died at the age of 79 in 1862. He was the very first president of the United States who was a United States citizen. The previous 7 presidents were all British subjects when they were born. Martin Van Buren was the first president who was actually born a United States citizen. But ironically enough, growing up, his family spoke Dutch. He had to learn English by going to school. English was his second language, ironically enough. Martin Van Buren, the first of our forgettable presidents. But those mutton chops, there's something to think about. Happy birthday, Marty. George Armstrong Custer was born in the state in 1839, met his end. Well, we know how he met his end, his infamous last stand. He graduated last in his class at West Point in the class of 1861 and died in 1876 because he wasn't particularly smart because he graduated last in his class at West Point, George Armstrong Custer. Walt Disney was born on this date in 1901. Of course, co-founder of the Walt Disney Company. Passed away in 1966 at the age of 65. More Academy Award nominations and more Academy Awards than anybody ever. 22 Oscars, 59 nominations. Walt Disney, born on this date in 1901. And a wop bop a loop bop a wop bam boom. Little Richard is 87. He was born Richard Wayne Penniman. He's one of the all-time greatest. The guy just, you talk about a piano player. This guy attacked the piano. I mean, what do you want to say? Tutti Frutti, Good Golly Miss Molly, We're Gonna Rip It Up, Lucille, The Girl Can't Help It, Little Richard. I love the man. He's 87 years old today. He just makes my day. One of the original inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. In fact, there are only 3 left now. Little Richard, Don Everly, and Jerry Lee Lewis, the last 3 surviving members of the inaugural Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class in 1986. Happy birthday, Little Richard. I'll be putting your music on my turntable before this day is done, 36 minutes after the hour. Before we move on to Kennel Cameos, a reminder about the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive. Those are the 6 organizations who are going to be benefiting from your generosity. Transitional Housing, Children's Home Society, I love them, serve Wenatchee Valley. Court-appointed special advocates, our good friends at CASA, also SAGE and Kashmir Cares. So your donations goes to those organizations, but we need your donations, specifically toys. And if you don't know what to get, just get a hold of us. We'll let you know. Gift cards are always a great idea. These are all of the sponsors, and those are also drop-off locations. So when you're out and about and you're picking up that new unwrapped toy for a needy kid in our Wenatchee Valley, all you got to do is bring it to any of our drop-off locations, and we will make sure that they get where they need to go. And once again, thank you to Les Schwab for being our title sponsor for the 3rd big year. All right, it's Kennel Cameos time. Guppy the dog needs a home. Here you go.
Hey guys, Megan here with the NCW Life Channel. We're here with Leticia, the clinic program coordinator at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and Guppy is joining us this week. Can you tell us about Guppy?
Yeah, Guppy is a 6-year-old pitty mix. He's very cute. He is around 6 years old, and he has one of the best temperaments here at the shelter. He enjoys going out in play groups and playing with a lot of different dogs. He looks a little rough around the edges, but it's probably because he was mainly outside throughout his whole life. He really wants a home where he can live inside, have a nice bed, and just enjoy the warmness of having a family. He walks really, really well on a leash. The only thing is he does not like cats, so he would do best in a home with no cats. But other than that, he's very friendly, and he's fun, and he's very sweet and affectionate, and when he gets excited, he does this really huge smile, and it's really cute.
And how's he with kids?
With kids, he doesn't mind them. He wouldn't mind having kids, and
okay,
yeah, he loves them. He loves anyone. Yeah, Guppy.
And what should someone do if they're interested in adopting him?
If they're interested, they can just come down to the shelter. They can meet him. If you like him and you walk him around and enjoy him, then you can just come down here and adopt him out. The application, the adoption fee is only $125.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. This has been Kennel Cameos at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
Being able to support yourself and your family is an important part of who we are. We all need to know we're able to provide ourselves with a secure future. Some job seekers have a harder time finding work. That's why Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is here, a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to help people find work. When you shop at or donate to Goodwill, you're really being a job creator, and that's a good thing for everyone's future. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, you see this sometimes among evangelical Christians, some statement about how screwed up this world is, and therefore it's evident that we are in the end times. Well, I remember Jesus telling us to pray to bring about God's will here on earth, helping earth to be more like it is in heaven. Remember that? And maybe in some ways, we're actually doing that. Now listen to me. We're recognizing that the abuse of children is something we need to pay attention to. We're paying attention to the mistreatment of women. And we're also looking at how we have marginalized some others in our society. And these are issues that we need to address, and finally we're addressing and dealing with them. So maybe the opposite is happening. Now think about this. Sure, there's plenty in this world that's screwed up. But maybe we're actually working to fix some of the things that have been wrong for a long time. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires. Well, more like Les Schwab alignment and brakes and shocks and wheels and tires. Now, some tire places don't offer all that. They only sell tires. And we're not sure how they sleep at night, because all those services affect things like steering and stopping. That's why we offer more than tires to help keep you safe. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. Once a month, we team up with our good friends at the North Central Educational Services District. They come by and give us the latest update. I've talked to Dr. Sue Kane, with Pete Phillips, with Michelle Price, the lady who runs the North Central Educational Services District. Before our December visit, we're going to mix things up a little bit. We're going to talk about the foundation that hands out grants. And grants are a good thing to have, and they've been doing great work. 145 grants were just awarded to teachers throughout the region, and here to talk about it to my far, far left is no stranger to this program, the publisher emeritus of the Wenatchee World, which means he doesn't get paid anymore, right. Rufus Woods. And Eldene, introduce yourself to our TV family. You're a first person, so tell us who you are and what are you doing here?
Well, right now I am working for the ESD Foundation, and I started doing that while I was still working at North Central ESD. I worked for Superintendent Michelle Price, and before that, Rich McBride. And while Rich was there, we applied for to have a 501c3, and he gave me the job of applying for the grant for the application, and we're fortunate to receive our approval. And so ever since 2008, we've been viable and alive, and we've been increasing our teacher grant awards every year.
And you retired from the North Central Educational Services District just recently, even though you're not quite 40, but you decided to stay with them anyway. Michelle asked you to go ahead and still be a part of the foundation.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And
we all breathed a sigh of relief on the board because she is the foundation. She does all the work. So
well, let me ask you this, Eldene. The foundation in a nutshell. Give Foundation 101 over the last, I guess, now 10 years, right?
Yes, so when we first organized, we got a board together, and the board decided that they would like to make their priority be awarding teacher classroom grants. OSPI had done that, maybe 20 years ago or so, and it was really amazing what teachers are able to accomplish with just a small grant. And so our board wanted to bring that alive again. And so ever since then, we've been awarding $300 teacher classroom grants, and we're just really happy that they have been able to increase from 8 the first year to 146 this year. So, which is
a remarkable number. And where does Rufus? Where's the seed money come from? You can't have a foundation without dough.
I think the original grant the original money came from Karen Rutherford, who won an award and used that to help get the foundation started. And so since that time, we've been out raising funds, and we raised about $40,000 this past year, and we rely on partners like North Cascades Bank and the Young Adult Consumer Education Trust, Confluence Health, and many, many others to support. The Community Foundation is another supporter. So those are where the funds come from, and from individuals who want to adopt a grant as well.
And it helps that here in North Central Washington and the North Central Washington Educational Services District, which is a huge district, they serve 29 different districts, and 27 of them, one way or the other, got money.
Yes.
We got really good educators here in North Central Washington, don't we? We got some top flight teachers who give a damn. You can tell.
Absolutely, and this really rewards the most creative because they have to apply. There's a one-page grant that Eldene sends out to all the districts and all the teachers, and then they can apply. And so we look at those grants and the ones that find opportunities to engage students with these dollars, $300 our maximum, then those are the ones that we fund.
And tell me about the vetting process, because in my book, all the teachers should get $300 if it's going to make their job easier for whatever reason. We always hear the stories, especially at the start of the school year, about teachers going to Walmart and Target and buying school supplies out of their own pocket. Even at $300 goes a long way, doesn't it? Depending on what they're doing. So talk about the vetting process. How do you decide who gets what and how? I mean, first of all, the grant process is only one page. Thank goodness for that. I've applied for grants, and it took me, like months to fill out 2 pages. So you try to simplify the process as much as possible.
Yes, we like you said, it's just a one-page application, but it's amazing all the information they can get on the one-page application. And then we have a special meeting where the board members divide up the applications and go through them and decide which ones they think should be funded in the different categories. And this year it was really difficult because we had 190 applications and we only had enough funds to award 145,
I think.
Yeah. So there were a lot of good ones that went unfunded this year, which was really hard to.
And it's hard to say no to people.
Yeah.
It's like,
They're great ones. It's really splitting hairs, and if you feel bad for not giving out grants when they're really good applications.
So the vetting process, does everybody in the board, first of all, how many people are on the board, I guess, is my, on the actual North Central board, the foundation board?
Working or actually on the board? No.
Good point. There's a big difference there, isn't there?
No, it's everyone works hard. It's 7 of us, 8 of us?
Yes.
Okay. And everybody, you just kind of divvy it up, deal it like a deck of cards and say this person could get $300 or this person shouldn't, that kind of deal?
We do it by categories.
Yeah, we have a judging, a matrix that we use for the judging them too, about how much it will help the kids in the classroom to learn and which grants would be sustainable through another year, things like that.
And Rufus mentioned creativity, and some of these are just really cool. I don't want to single out any one thing, but this ukuleles for lunch jumps out at me. This is at Quincy Junior High, which is cool. The kids get to borrow ukuleles and learn how to play them during their lunch hour. Stuff like that. That's creativity.
And that's one of our sustainable ones. He started doing that 3 or 4 years ago, and he just,
Trevor Sill,
he's increased it every year. And I might add that it's due to Rufus and his family who have added the funding for the music and arts. So
which
that's
is
been a huge
right up Wilf's alley. And he was a huge supporter of the local arts here. So how do the teachers find out about this? Teachers say, hey, I could use $300 for this or that. How do you get the word out among the educators in the district?
Well, we have the email contacts for all the superintendents and principals.
Okay.
And so we send them the application and information, and then they send it out to their teachers. So it really depends on them how well the teachers are informed about it. And we also put it on our website, and we have a Facebook page too.
Okay. So the $300 doesn't seem like a lot, but some just take a little bit less, and that allows you to give somebody who maybe needs a little bit more, right? If that's the case. And how many of you talked about some of the sustainable ones? How many of the 145 are the ones that are just roll over every year? I just put you on the spot, didn't I?
We haven't really figured that
I'm not
out,
sure.
but
I think there are a number of them. It's pretty because you can buy equipment they can use year after year after year. So it's probably, I don't know. I'm guessing 2/3 of them are more sustainable. You'd use a printer, for example, in your classroom, a 3D printer for multiple years. So I'd say the majority of them will last more than 1 year.
Do most of them kind of slide towards the elementary school, the younger kids, or is it kind of really divvied up between elementary and middle school and junior high and high school? Is it?
There's probably more elementary than high school, but there are quite a few high school, junior high as well.
Pretty evenly split, yeah.
Outside of the ukuleles for lunch, which I love, give me some of the other unique ones that as soon as it crosses your desk, they're getting $300. This is a great idea. Can you give me a couple of examples, Eldene?
Well, we just recently received information about what one teacher who was awarded money for a 3D printer did. So the teachers, or the students, put together a little, I think it was little squares, wasn't it, where they were able to create a map of a geography area they were studying. And so the teacher was just really excited all the ways they could use the 3D printer.
Does this program extend to other educational services districts in the state of Washington, or is this kind of a standalone and the other ESDs are going, hey, this is a pretty good idea?
It's a standalone, but we've had a lot of interest from other ESDs, wondering how it's done, and we always tell them we're happy to share with them, but they haven't, none of them really taken hold of it yet and done it.
We hope that they'll give us money and that we can give that out to our teachers and they can just give us money. But that project, that hasn't worked yet.
But you can donate. In fact, I have it right here. Yeah. There's a little form you can fill out and say, I'd like to donate.
And we still have those 50 or odd grants that did not get funded. So if people are interested, we'd be happy to, Eldene can set them up and let them know what grants are available, and then we can get, if they want to help sponsor a $300 grant, that would be fantastic.
Is this a sustainable deal? I mean, or do you run the piggy bank till it's empty and it's dry, and then you fill the piggy bank back up again, and once a year you empty it?
Well, for the most part, we try to give out most of the funds we have. There's some we're working to kind of develop a foundation. We've grown from doing just a couple of grants the first year, all the way to giving out $40,000 in grants. We've gone from a couple to 145, so we've really grown it. So we're trying to now think about what's next steps to make this thing more sustainable over the long term. It's now getting to be a really big deal. We're getting more partners, and so it's the Chelan Douglas Land Trust gives out grants. The Community Foundation, the Music and Arts Fund, and so many others. So we're trying to figure out how to make this sustainable. We don't overburden Eldene, because it's a lot of work. You've got a lot of categories of grants and a lot of funders and a lot of needs, so it gets a little complicated.
Do you like the job, Eldene? Do you like doing what you're doing?
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've kind of made up my mind I wasn't going to do anything I didn't really enjoy while I was retired, so it's been a great fit because, I feel ownership in it ever since it started, so.
I can tell you like it. On some of the teachers who applied and didn't get, and again, you awarded 145 this year and you had nearly 200 applicants. Can you go to some of the teachers and say, you almost got it. If you had done this, we probably would have kicked you into the $300 bracket. Do you make that kind of contact with the teachers and say you were that close?
Well, a couple of people who have followed up and asked what they could do differently, we have. We don't really go out and initiate that conversation, but if somebody asks us, we do. Yeah.
And do you do this once a year, always around this time of the year?
Yes.
Is when you give the money out, which is the time of year to do it?
Yes, we do it. We open up the opportunity to apply in the spring, and then the deadline is usually about October 1st.
Okay.
Or the last of September.
So you're really busy. October is when you guys all sit down and start hammering it out. So.
Making the hard decisions, exactly.
But my guess is Eldene's word carries a lot of weight amongst the board.
Absolutely. Well, she does 90% of the work, and the rest of us just take all the credit as usual.
Well, I sure couldn't do it without such a great board. So, and we're always looking for good board members too. So.
Please go ahead, pitch your board.
Well, this is really one of the most fun, and probably the most fun part is the annual teacher award event where they come. We put on a big party. Eldene is the lead on that, and we feed them some wine, some hors d'oeuvres, and we just sit around and we give out these grants and we hand them a $300 check. This doesn't go to their district, doesn't go to their building, goes right to the teacher, which is great. There's nothing like being handed cash. We trust you, you do it, and then so part of the board is the value of the board, or at least the excitement of the board, is being able to engage with teachers and engage with these creative souls in our schools. So we would love to find more folks who'd like to serve on the board and carry on the tradition and help us grow this thing so we can impact more students and impact more teachers.
Eldene, I'm going to give you the last word to all of you parents out there whose kids go to any of the schools in the North Central Educational Services District, which again is a big district. How are we doing? Are we educating the next generation okay, teachers?
Well,
Doing okay?
I'm sure encouraged whenever we give out our grant awards, because when I see all the creativity and the great things the teachers accomplish, I'm just really impressed with the education the kids are receiving.
I like it when people move to the Wenatchee Valley because they know they're going to raise a family here and they're going to get their kids are going to get a good education because they decided to call this area home.
Yes.
And nothing makes you feel better than that. So.
No, aren't you impressed with all the teachers?
Phenomenal with the talent and the commitment and the challenges they have, and we're just trying to help a little bit, and we're looking for more folks to help us make that happen.
So how do they do that, Eldene? How do they say, oh, I want to give you money, or I want to be a part of the board, or I think the work you do is fascinating, and I want to be a part of it? What do I do from here, Eldene? Now what?
They can contact me by email or phone, and I don't know if you want me to give my email and phone.
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
So it's eldenew@ncesd.org. That's ELDENEW@ncesd.org. Or you can call me at 509-669-6838, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
What else do you do in your retirement time when you're not doling out money to teachers? What do you do with your...
Well, I'm active with some other organizations too, like Right on the River and the Wenatchee Valley Community Concerts, or the Wenatchee Community Concert Association.
Which I love, by the way. I missed the piano guy. I missed
He
the
was
piano.
really
Was
good.
he
He was
right?
really good.
Oh, jeez. I saw that because they've been on my show, and the guy who plays on this. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry I missed him.
He was really good.
He was really good. So you have an active retirement.
Yes, and then I'm active in church activities too. So, and I have a big family. So.
Good for you. I don't know anything about having a big family. Wouldn't know anything about that.
No.
So Rufus, there is such a thing as an active retirement.
That's right. I know. I'm failing in retirement, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, and again, Walgreens, they sell razors.
I'm looking for. I think I'll check that out. I kind of lost mine.
Again, Eldene, thanks for coming by. Keep up the good work. Really, I appreciate you coming by and doing this.
Yeah,
and again,
fun too.
and if anybody missed any of that information, all I got to do is get a hold of us at the NCW Live channel. We'll pass Eldene's contact on to you. Everybody have a great holiday season.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, sir.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting us.
Razors at Walgreens.
Yeah.
You can't miss it. You're watching Wake Up at Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back. Ho, ho, ho! Santa wants you to shop at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. They have a huge variety of fun Christmas items in their Christmas cottage. There's so much to choose from, and it changes day to day. Santas and snowmen, holiday dishes and decor, village pieces and ornaments. To add to your collection or start something new, you can't beat the prices. What's old is new again for you in the Christmas cottage at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center.
The world around us is constantly changing. Major employers in north central Washington have expressed a need for capable, qualified engineering technologists who can think critically and solve problems. And at Wenatchee Valley College, we listened. We are pleased to offer a Bachelor of Applied Science Engineering Technology degree to provide you with a world of new opportunities. Your time is now. The future is waiting for you.
And we're back here live from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee. Before we give you the weather forecast, quick little breaking news item to get to. A significant power outage in the Wenatchee area along 9th Street between Wenatchee Valley College and Westside High School. Apparently, excuse me, in the wee small hours, a truck hit a power pole, and that has knocked out power to that area. Again, we're talking about the college and Westside High School. Now, Westside High School is going to go on a 2-hour delay today because it's hard to hold classes when the school doesn't have any power. But when that gets up and running, we'll let you know. But once again, Westside High School on a 2-hour delay because they don't have any power on their campus right now. All right, from the National Weather Service, let's take one more look at your weather forecast for the rest of the day. And right on into the weekend, what we've been having is what we're going to have again today, only a little bit warmer. We'll top off at about 40 degrees. We're already at 30, so we're climbing that ladder. Patchy fog tonight. Lots of clouds, 32 for the overnight low. Patchy fog Friday. Lots of clouds, high of about 38. Friday night, a weak system comes in. Could get a little bit of light rain. Probably not any snow. Snow level is going to be just too high up for any snow here in the Wenatchee Valley. Mostly rain on Friday night into Saturday morning. And then we get high pressure coming your way Sunday and Monday. Give us a couple of nice days of sunshine to get the weekend going before we cloud up and start talking maybe a rain-snow mix Wednesday of next week. Tomorrow at this time, we'll have a better idea on where we're going to have a little bit of snow or not. We'll find out together tomorrow. Until then, have yourself a great Thursday. We'll see you Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.